On the top level, the European Union legislated on medical devices with the three medical device directives, MDD, AIMDD, and IVDD. These directives have been transposed into national law by the member states. The evidence for compliance with the essential requirements of the directives is brought in most cases by complying with harmonized standards. Harmonized standards are ones that have been recognized by CEN or CENELEC to provide presumption of compliance with essential requirements. The regulatory framework is further explained by various guidance documents that also indicate possible solutions or pathways for obtaining regulatory compliance. The directives and national transposition are mandatory requirements in the regulatory framework. Following standards and guidance documents is voluntary. However, note that either you follow the guidelines or you will need to prove that your chosen way is at least equivalent to the result that would have been obtained by following a standard or guidance document. Let us now quickly recall the steps to a CE mark. The sequence of some of the steps may be done differently than represented, and some of the steps need iterations. This overview is for information and not a schedule. The steps on the way to the market in Europe are product definition, intended use, and risk management. Classification of the product. Definition and choice of the conformity assessment route. Update or implementation of the quality system requirements into the legal manufacturer's quality system. Product development fulfilling the essential requirements. Product validation and verification, provision of evidence for fulfilling the essential requirements by product testing, if applicable. Clinical evaluation. Risk assessment. Note that risk analysis and risk assessment are part of the previously cited risk management. Risk management is an iterative process that accompanies the product development from the very beginning. This is cited here again because at this stage you need to substantiate by evidence that the risk-benefit balance is acceptable. Based on the aforementioned, you will need to prove the risk mitigations applied to guarantee product safety in order to be able to complete the clinical evaluation through possibly necessary clinical investigations. Then, you need to finalize your setup of distribution channels to be able to compile the technical documentation to finalize the labeling and then to draw up your declaration of conformity and affix the CE mark on your product. All these activities will be followed by continuous vigilance and post-market studies. In cases of Class 1 products with a measuring function, or Class 1s that are delivered sterile, and Classes 2A, 2B, and 3, you must involve a notified body for the conformity assessment before you can draw up your declaration of conformity and CE mark your products. This is just a simplified overview as a refresher to recall the European regulatory framework before we focus exclusively on the particularities of active medical devices. The last reminder in this series shows the function of the management system as the driver for keeping up to date with the essential requirements, clinical evidence, and risk control measures. All of what we discussed so far is applicable to all medical devices, and nothing is specific for active devices.